to think like a scientist. My name's Aiden and I'm a scientist at the University of Colorado in Denver. And today I'm going to teach you how to do a fun at-home experiment where we utilize the law of gravity to create an obstacle course for a marble. Everyone's been on a slide at least one time in their life. But have you ever wondered why you can go from point A on the top of the slide to point B on the bottom of the slide without exerting any energy at all? Or have you ever wondered when you drop something it just goes straight to the ground instead of going the opposite direction and floating up to the sky? Today we're going to create an obstacle course made out of household items such as toilet paper rolls and paper towel rolls to utilize the law of gravity and let the marble go down the obstacle course however we decide to make it. So gravity is going to do all the work for us and we don't have to push the marble or throw it at all. Gravity is just going to pull it all the way down and it's going to go in the exact obstacle course that we designed for it. So what are we going to need today? Well, the first thing you're going to need is a lot of paper towel and toilet paper rolls. I just have about, I would say, 20 toilet paper rolls that I've gotten from my friends, family, and just from my own house. So when you're done with the roll, instead of throwing away the roll, just save it and keep it for later because we can use it in this experiment. The next thing you're going to need is a marble. The next thing you're going to need is some sort of tape. Tape is going to be very important for this experiment because we're going to be able to shape the obstacle course using the tape. The last thing you're going to need is some books. The first thing you're going to do is attach our first roll to the top of the platform. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of tape and I'm going to tape it on the inside of this toilet paper roll, like so. And then I'm going to use the sticky part here to attach it to the top of my platform, just like this. Now we're going to continue attaching toilet paper rolls to each other. So we're going to keep doing the same thing now, and I'm going to get a little bit more creative with this, and you can do the same, and then I'll check back in with you guys once my obstacle course is complete. Okay, we're back, and I finished my obstacle course. I did make some modifications along the way. What I mainly did is I made my platform even taller and taller as I made the course more complicated. Just because I wanted to make sure that the marble started at a high enough height to have enough energy to make its way all the way through the obstacle course. The higher up the marble starts, the more energy it has. What we call that energy is potential energy, which is dependent on how high the marble is and how strong gravity is. Gravity is a constant force, so that number doesn't change. But the height of the marble will change and determine how much potential energy the marble has. Now when that marble starts traveling down the obstacle course, that potential energy gets transformed into kinetic energy. And that's the kind of energy that's going to help it go all the way down through the obstacle course and come out at the end right here. Now, it's time for the moment of truth. We're going to go ahead and place our marble at the top of the obstacle course and see if it makes its way all the way down and out of this end here. Here we go. Look at that! The marble came out of the other end, all on its own with no added force because of the law of gravity. This is because gravity wants the marble to go down in height. Now if there's only one way that it could go down in height, even if it's by a little bit at a diagonal, it's still going to pull the marble down. Gravity would have wanted the marble to drop from this height just straight down like this. But instead, we force the marble to utilize the force of gravity but travel from here all the way down, making all these turns and coming out of this side. Now I'd like to suggest a few ways that you can change the experiment up and prolong the fun as much as possible. So the first thing that I'd like to recommend is using different size paper rolls. So the toilet paper rolls are what I used, so maybe next time I'll go ahead and use some paper towel rolls. You can also use the roll that comes with some wrapping paper, or you can go to the construction store and probably buy some very interesting shaped rolls. The next thing that you can do is use a different sized marble, or even just a heavier or lighter marble. Now depending on the weight of the marble and the size, it's going to have different effects by gravity. A heavier item is going to have more of a pull by gravity, whereas a lighter item like a feather takes its sweet time as it falls to the ground, versus if you drop a bowling ball. The last thing that I'd like to suggest, that's pretty much a no-brainer, is just changing the shape of the obstacle course. So today I created kind of a swervy one where it started here, came down, turned, and then came back around to the same side. you can experiment with creating a long straight obstacle course, or one that even with enough of a fall can actually go up even a little bit because of all the momentum the marble has gathered on its way down. Now, thank you for tuning in to Think Like a Scientist. We appreciate your time and we're glad to have you, and we look forward to seeing you again at a future episode. Goodbye.